3 days ago, CEO of Hyundai, the new CEO, Jose Munoz, told Bloomberg that he's not worried about the impact of tariffs because the company has made so many investments in U.S. manufacturing. When I saw that, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I would be worried if I was him. And then we got this. Yesterday, Chairman Yusen Chung and 3 other major executives from Hyundai are in the White House announcing a $21 billion deal. Guys, are Trump's tariffs actually working? Well, let's find out. First, I want to listen to what Chairman Chung from Hyundai has to say about this big announcement.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to ask the executive chairman to say a few words, and it's a great honor to have Hyundai, a truly great company. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak here today, and thank you for the invitation. And congratulations on the remarkable start to your new term.
It's been good.
All right.
It's a great one.
So Hyundai Motor entered the U.S. 1986. Since then, we have invested over $20 billion and now support more than 570,000 American jobs across all 50 states. Today, I'm pleased to announce an additional $21 billion in a new investment over the next 4 years, our largest U.S. invest ever. A key part of this commitment is our $6 billion investment to strengthen the U.S. supply chain from steel and parts to automobiles. We are especially excited about Hyundai Steel's multi-billion investment in a new facility in Louisiana, which will create 1,300 American jobs and serve as the foundation for a more self-reliant and secure automotive supply chain in the U.S. To mark this milestone, we are honored to visit President Trump alongside Governor Landry and Speaker Johnson and Leader Scalise, deepening our partnership with the United States and reinforcing our shared vision for American industrial leadership. And this week, we are also proud to open our new $8 billion auto plant in Georgia. With this, our U.S. vehicle production will exceed 1 million units per year.
That's crazy. Keep in mind in Georgia, that's like this new meta plant where Hyundai is building the new Ioniq 9. It used to be called the Ioniq 7. They'll be building the Ioniq 5 already. I believe they have already started building it there. Due to a lull in EV demand here in the United States, they're also going to be building hybrids and other models out of that meta plant in Georgia too.
As President mentioned, our decision to invest in Savannah, Georgia, creating more than 8,500 American jobs, was initiated during my meeting with President Trump in Seoul in 2019. Right. Yeah, and after that, 2020 in Davos, I mentioned about the new plant. So American Jobs was initiated during at the time. Now, as we proudly mark the completion of this transformative project in size with the beginning of President Trump's second, making this moment even more special.
Thank you.
Yeah. Furthermore, HMG will purchase $3 billion worth of U.S. LNG to support.
Okay, so $3 billion of liquid natural gas to supply the steel. I'm assuming the steel mill in Louisiana, but also what other plants that they may use it for.
Support America's energy industry and enhance our energy security. All of these efforts will accelerate the localization of our supply chain in the U.S., expand our operations, and grow our Americans' workforce. With your leadership, Mr. President, Hyundai Motor Group is proud to be a stronger partner in America's industrial future. I'd like to personally invite you to visit one of our state-of-the-art manufacturing facility and see firsthand our commitment to the United States and our American workers. Right. So thank you to our American partners and employees and communities. We are really proud to stand with you and proud to build the future together. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm not going to force you guys to slog through an additional 14 minutes of more politics, but Trump hails this as a part of the tariffs. Now, I'll leave that for you guys to decide if this was already in the works before the tariffs were used as a threatening piece. So there's going to be more than 2.7 million metric tons of steel initially being built at this steel mill in Louisiana, and there will be more after that. They will expand on that steel mill. So this $21 billion investment through 2028 will increase vehicle production to over 1.2 million vehicles per year here in the United States. I mean, that's getting up to, I think, Toyota's levels of production here in the United States, which is just incredible. This is going to have 14,000 jobs being created until 2028. Got to keep in mind that I don't know why I have my headphones on anymore, but you got to keep in mind that there is already tariffs on steel and aluminum, and so this is Hyundai getting around that by producing it here in the United States. I guess this is the bigger news for me. All right, yes, it's great Hyundai's investing a lot of money and whatnot, but Trump auto tariffs, they're still coming, but we don't know like which ones are coming, and some might be left off the table, guys. I mean, here's the thing. Now that Hyundai's invested all this money, Honda, even though Honda hasn't made the official announcement about the plant in Indiana, about the Civic moving from Mexico, well, the plans were to make it in Mexico, now in Indiana, even though it hasn't been officially announced by Honda. Are certain companies going to get a pass because they have made a big investment or a big announcement about production and building in America, like Hyundai and Honda? And then other ones who haven't made any announcement of investments in America, or additional announcements, are they not going to be waived from the tariffs? Well, let's read on what's going on. Trump said on Monday, tariffs are coming soon, even as he indicated that not all of his levies would be imposed on April 2nd, and some countries may get breaks. Okay, well, April 2nd, again, is when reciprocal tariffs start. So let's say, apparently, in the video that we just watched, and I watched a little bit more off screen, of course, but apparently Europe, who had a 10% import tax on American cars, has reduced, or the EU specifically has reduced it to 2.5%, and that's what we charged for European cars coming into the United States. So they reduced their tariffs for us. Okay, so it doesn't look like tariffs will change for European cars coming in. All right. Anyways, that would be from Europe, though. Remember, European cars can also be made, most of them in Mexico, or should I say the ones that are not made in Europe, the second largest place where they're made, especially for BMW, for example, Volkswagen, Audi, they're made in Mexico. So Trump said not all new tariffs would be announced on April 2nd. He may give a lot of countries breaks on tariffs. I wouldn't be surprised if Korea is involved in that. We'll find out after this big announcement. I wouldn't be surprised if Japan is involved in that. Meanwhile, Trump is also saying there would be tariffs on autos, pharmaceuticals, and aluminum in the very near future, arguing that the U.S. would need all those products in the event of whatever. So yes, there will be tariffs, but it seems to be like, especially with like the parts situation, I think there might be some leeway with the parts. That to me is by far the most confusing aspect of the entire auto tariffs, is that the parts that go into these cars often swap over the border from Canada to Mexico to the United States over and over and over before the part is finished. All right. Now, I have heard that General Motors and maybe some other companies are doing what they can to be vertically integrated, like Tesla is in a lot of ways. A lot of Chinese manufacturers like BYD that are very vertically integrated and build a lot of their parts in-house now. That could be a sidestep here, but that does take time to build up that part supply. And in the meantime, maybe Trump waives tariffs on the parts situation, but time will tell. Auto tariffs are coming the next few days, and then adding tariffs on lumber, semiconductors would follow down the road. It looks like UK, India could be avoiding tariffs, and that almost coincides with the news yesterday that I broke. Well, I didn't break it, but I shared on the channel that Toyota could be building Corollas in their UK plants and sending them to America. Now, as far as I know, I don't know if those Corollas are only right-hand drive for British roads, they could be. Do they have the capacity and availability to switch some of that production, half that production, because it's at 50% production capacity, those plants in UK? Do they have the ability to switch them to left-hand drive? Now, Mississippi already makes the Corolla sedan, but if there are big tariffs on Japanese cars, which that would be terrible for the Japanese companies, it would be really, really bad. Anyways, if that happens, then maybe they don't import the Corolla hybrid or the Corolla hatchback from Japan anymore, and somehow find a way to make left-hand drive Corolla hybrid wagons. That'd be great. Bring the wagon here, Toyota. Maybe that's one small mercy to deal with the tariffs. And then also the Corolla hatchback as well. Maybe we finally get a hybrid on the hatchback, even though the hatchback is very niche-y at this point. All right, it's very compromised in the back seat. Didn't stop me from taking a road trip in the GR Corolla with my friends last year. So anyways, all right. So here's the countries that are most likely to get reciprocal tariffs. Because with the U.S. Trading Office, 88% of total goods with the United States are from these countries, which is obviously a lot. All right. South Korea and Japan are in there. Mexico, of course. And Canada. All right. These countries and the European Union send a boatload of cars from their countries to the United States. You know, we'll see what happens on April 2nd. Stay tuned, guys, for more tariff information. Is this, just the beginning of a big announcement? And I think here's the thing. The way, if you watch the news, this video, if you watched it, there should be more announcements for auto investments here in the United States in the coming weeks, months, and potentially years. Okay, so we'll see how that rolls out. If there's something new that pops up, a big investment, I'll update you guys here on the channel. And guys, try to be civilized in the comments. In the last administration, cars, it was all about pushing electrification. In this administration, it's wanting the cars to be built in America. Politics have such a huge role in cars, and there's no way around it not covering it, in my opinion, on my channel, because I cover car news. So if you guys like car news, and I try to put as little personal, I don't really care one way or the other. I'm just kind of a fly on the wall, and I find all this fascinating, for good or for bad, for better or for worse. So I'll see you guys in the comments. Again, be civilized, treat each other well, respectful, and have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day. It's 4:40, and I'm wrapping this up. Guys, just have a great day. All right. Take care of each other, love each other, and peace out.